Good afternoon and welcome back to the Heed Army podcast commentary service here this afternoon, live from Gateshead International Stadium. Football is back and it's Gateshead versus Southend United in the Enterprise National League. My name is David Gaddis. I'm joined by Mark Carruthers and we are absolutely buzzing to be bringing you full match commentary here this afternoon. And of course, it is also live on DAZN if you want to watch. Well, my microphone is working itself, but I'm back. It is also available on National League TV if you'd like to watch that on DAZN. So please do join us that way if you want. Mark, it's been a busy summer. There's been lots of talk and points, but Alan Armstrong is the manager, appointed back end of May, and he's been a very busy boy.
Yeah, and I don't think that work is done yet. I think there's still deals to be done, probably both outgoing and incoming, but made some big calls today. New players have been handed debuts, league debut, first league start for a promising academy player who has seized his chance in pre-season. And it's very much a fresh Gateshead side, and it's going to be a hard season. We know that. But this club, and I've said this many, many times, has always at its best when it's up against it, and that's what it has to be this season.
It certainly is. It's a much changed Gateshead side, but there is some names still in there familiar to many. I'll go through the Gateshead lineup now. We will do it obviously before we kick off as well. Tiernan Brooks in goal. Connor Panny starts at right back. Captain Kenton Richardson, Joe Grayson and David Ferguson make up the back four. Josh Holm, Will Flint, Callum Bowen, who we mentioned before, new signing, or a lot of them are new signings, but signed last night. Ethan Fitzhugh, Dom Telford and Harry Chapman make up the starting lineup here for Gateshead this afternoon. On the bench, George Shelby, Kane Adam, Max Sheaf, Frank Nuble, Fenton John, Kyle Hurst, who was just announced this morning on loan from Doncaster for the season until January, and Ben Williams. For the guests, the opponent, Southend United, it is going to be Colin Andeng-Nadi, Gus Scott Morris, Captain Nathan Ralph, Ben Goodlife, Noah Hussein, Sam Austin, Josh Walker, Harry Taylor, Keenan Apaya Forson, Charlie Kendall and Harry Boys make up their starting lineup. On the bench is Nick Hayes, Joe Gubbins, Jack Bridge, James Morton, Andrew Dallas, who's just signed with the club as well, takes the number 9 shirt, Leon Chambers, Brilliant, and Tom Hopper. And Mark, as I say, the opponents today, they went within minutes of the Football League at the playoff final. As I say, it's another season for them where they'll probably have to pick themselves up, dust themselves down, and go at it again.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Gateshead going through every emotion last season. I think when you look at what Southend went through, I mean, you could probably say the extremes, the emotions were even more extreme, I should say. Alan Armstrong described this as one of the hardest fixtures Gateshead could have been given on the opening day of the season, and there's a reason for that. One is the absolute quality within this Southend United side. Two is the motivation they'll have to move on from that disappointing end of last season. And three is the fact that they've got a very, very good manager who means a lot to the club, knows the ins and outs of the club as much as probably anyone. And I think, we were talking before we came on air about who'll be there or thereabouts this season. You look at the obvious candidates, York City, Forest Green Rovers, Carlisle United. Southend are in that mix as well, I think.
Certainly are. And I mean, you just look at through the Southend team, Sam Austin, he'll pull strings in that number 10 position, and Gus Scott Morris, free scoring right wing back, who will cause trouble for the full 90 minutes.
But yeah, and you look at the bench as well, there's quality on there. You mentioned Andrew Dallas coming in. We know what he can do at this level. We know the goals he can score at this level. So the fact that they've got that option off the bench just shows exactly what they've got within the squad. So, but yeah, I mean, the starting 11, there's experience in there, there's leaders, there's threats at every area of the pitch. So this is a really tough test for a very much a new look Gateshead, and one where there's almost an air of mystery about Gateshead, isn't there? We've seen them in pre-season, but
still an unknown quantity.
Yeah.
Players still getting to know each other. There has been a high turnover of players. But the one thing that we can say about what Alan Armstrong's recruitment has been, and it was probably one of the first things he said when he arrived at the club, he wanted to get the club back to, its main ethos, and that was, hungry young local talent, and he seems to have done that with a scattering of experience in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing Alan has within the game is contacts, and I look at it, and obviously Harry Chapman's someone he's worked with before at Middlesbrough, so he knows about him. Josh Holm we know because he was here last season. Then you've got the academy lads, you likes of Callum Bowen, who we'll probably discuss in a moment. Connor Panney's in there, along with, as you say, the experience of your Joe Graysons and your Kenton Richardsons, who's of course new club captain. So it is very much a mixed group. It is very much a group of players that are capable of competing at this level.
I'm having trouble.
Yes, it's Rooney the goat, and our mascot today is Taylor. Thank you, Taylor.
Hello.
Second. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. We've had a bit of microphone trouble, but I am back and firing on all cylinders. We've been using mod cons and one of the batteries has died, so that was the problem there. It's as I say, we're looking at all of the players that have come in. We've mentioned a lot Callum Bowen, and he's certainly been a player that's caught the eye of a lot of EFL clubs as well. But Gateshead have managed to tie him down for 2 seasons. And speaking to some of his teammates earlier in the week, it seems like he's acquitting himself well on and off the pitch.
Yeah, he's a young lad who's full of confidence, full of self-belief, but doesn't cross that line into arrogance, which is an admirable sort of position to be in as a young player. He'll believe he can do it at this level. He wants to prove that he can. Alan knows him better than anyone, having worked with him during Alan's time in the academy. Look, in pre-season, he's played really well against some very established players at a few levels in the higher end of non-league football. But this is the first test for him in the National League. He couldn't really get a better side to play against to really show how much he can do. And I just hope he goes out there and plays with freedom and plays with that intensity that we saw when he played against the likes of Darlington, Spennymoor, Morpeth Town, Hebburn Town. Yes, this is a new level, but if he takes those qualities into the National League, then Gateshead could have a player in the hands.
Certainly do. And obviously there's other players that we mentioned. We'll get into them later on. If you're just joining us, please do hit that subscribe button and join us on Thursday evening for the main show of the Heed Army podcast. We will have lots of talking points, and we're hoping to have another couple of players with us on Thursday. We did speak to Frank Newbley and Joe Grayson this past Thursday, so please go back and have a little listen to that or a watch even on YouTube. It really does help. Our whole aim here on the Heed Army podcast is to get more people here at the game, more people talking about Gateshead, and you can play your part by commenting, liking and sharing the stream. It really does go a long way. We live in the shadows of giants here in the northeast of Newcastle and Sunderland, but we're trying to forge our own light, and you are the key to helping us do that. So please do keep doing what you do and helping us spread on. But you may be able to hear in the background, Mark, it is an absolutely fantastic away support from Southend. Of course, their last competitive game was at Wembley, and excitement will be high for them.
Yeah, it will be. And as I say about moving on from that disappointment of how our season ended, we shouldn't forget they were the last visitors here for that game on the final day of last season, and what was a pretty, I think I can probably say it with confidence, a grim day all round for Gateshead.
A drab affair, wasn't it?
Performance, atmosphere around the club wasn't great, but there's a fresh feel about it now. But Southend, yeah, I mean, look, they'll be determined to move on and challenge again this season. They've got more than enough quality in their squad to really push at the top end again and put, join the likes of your Yorks and Forest Greens in that title race, that promotion battle. And they'll be backed, as we can hear, by a brilliant support, one of the best supports in the league.
Certainly is. I mean, we seem to say this every year, but there is clubs that are maybe, you would say, too big for the level. I would class Southend as one of those clubs. In recent years, they were as high as the Championship at one point, and I do believe they can probably get back there again one day. But as I say, it's a rebuilding operation. But the fans have made an absolutely fantastic journey up here to Tyneside this afternoon, and they're in full voice. Still filling out here in the gated side of the Tyne stand. It's a sunny day on Tyneside, and we are live. I'm giving you full match commentary here on the Heed Army podcast and also live on DAZN. And we hope that if you're tuned in, wherever you are in the world, you can get in contact with us here. Send us a message on the YouTube stream and we'll give you a shout out when it's appropriate. But please do stay in contact. Remember, there is a game here on Wednesday night even. Nearly had a 40th slip. Gateshead are playing Newcastle United under 21s in the National League Cup. Football for a fiver. There is a 1,000 limit on the gate, so get yourselves along. Come down, see some of the budding stars of tomorrow for both Gateshead and Newcastle United. And who knows, you might even have a one-away striker on display. We don't know. But that's not for Gateshead, by the way. But we've got lots of people sending in messages. And Scarfield put, hello chaps, new start for the club. Yes, it's been seen as that. We've got Lindsay Fraser has put away the heat. Gordon Man, afternoon, how he is doing? We're doing all right. And Liv Walden, good to be back. And we've got one from Chris Lamb. My laptop was quite far away from us because we haven't got the room on this table. But good afternoon, lads. A very interesting one. And thank you for your message. Well, the team are led out here at Gateshead International Stadium. Kent Richardson is the captain for the season, and his team that he leads out is this as follows. Tiernan Brooks in goal, wears number 1. Connor Panny, number 26. The captain, Kent Richardson, wears number 5. Joe Grayson at 18. David Ferguson wears number 3. Josh Holmes, 17. Will Flint, number 6. Callum Bowen, 35. Ethan Fitzhugh, 23. Tom Telford, number 9, and Harry Chapman wears the number 32 shirt here this afternoon. On the bench for Gateshead is George Shelby, Kane Adam, Max Sheaf, Frank Newbley, Fenton John, Kyle Hurst, and Ben Williams. And for the visitors, all in yellow with a blue trim, it is Colin Adang Nidi in goal, plus Scott Morris. Nathan Ralph is the captain. Ben Goodlife is number 6. Number 8 is Noah Hussein. Number 10 is Sam Austin, sorry. Josh Walker wears number 11. Harry Taylor, number 16. Keane Apaya Forson, 22. Charlie Kendall wears number 24. And Harry Boys wears number 33 on the bench. Nick Hayes, Joe Gubbins, Jack Bridge, James Morton, Andrew Dallas, Leon Chambers, Beryllian, and Mark Hopper. It is a glorious day. Football is back, and it is the Enterprise National League waiting for you, and we're blessed to be bringing you this commentary here this afternoon. My name is David Garrett. I'm joined by Mark Rovers. We're all set. We're just waiting for the captains to get into that centre circle with the officials, and we'll go for the coin toss. But Mark, football's here, and it couldn't be a better day for it, could it?
Yeah, a little bit of wind around, isn't there, as well? But the sun's out. There's a good crowd in, and let's hope Gateshead can get themselves off to a good start in what will be a very, very tough game.
It certainly will be. But Kent Richardson and Nathan Ralph are out there with the referee and his assistants. Big shout out to our partners on the Heed Army podcast, of course, kit sponsor and manufacturer Hope and Glory shirts available. And you'll be able to follow a link in our bio on YouTube to be able to purchase yours and look as smart as the players do today. But Southend all in yellow, looks very nice. Blue shoulders and blue socks. Gateshead will be shooting towards the River Tyne, the visitors towards the Fellon end. It's all set up. We hope you've got your drinks ready at home or wherever you might be in the world. Football's back, and Southend are going to get us underway here at Gateshead International Stadium. And once again, the away fans producing most of the noise here in the Tyne and Weir stand. Who will be the noisiest at the end of the game? We'll find out very soon. But Apaya Forson stands over the ball, ready to kick us off. And the referee waiting to kick us off on 3 o'clock. He's just waiting for it to turn 3 o'clock.
Making us wait.
He is making us wait. I'm not going to say the referee's a showman, but he knows how to build an atmosphere. So once again, welcome to everyone who has joined us on National League TV on DAZN. It's a pleasure to be back with you this season, of course, our audio stream on YouTube. seconds away from the start of the season here. We're just waiting for the referee, who gets us underway. And Apaya Forson kicks the ball back, and it's been cleared out towards the right wing. Ferguson gets his first touch on his debut for Gateshead, falls in midfield, flicked over, and now the through on goal and a shot. Good save from Tiernan Brooks, and it was Charlie Kendall that latched onto the ball in the box, and Southend starting on the front foot, Mark.
Yeah, arguably should have scored. Great save from Brooks, stayed big, made the striker make a decision, and well, what a start that could have been.
Crossfield ball across the left-hand side, and now in comes the delivery, hits off Gateshead defender and cleared by Kent Richardson out to the far side, and Ralph puts it back into his teammates, still on the left-hand side with the ball now, as Gateshead do win the ball back. It's held up by Callum Bowen and goes out for a Gateshead throw on the far side.
Yeah, I think that could have been from Southend point of view, the perfect start, couldn't it, really? And for Gateshead, the nightmare start, but great save from Tiernan Brooks that have done him the world of good.
Well, ball comes to Joe Grayson, has Ferguson front run, plays the ball forward and goes straight to Scott Morris, who lays it off. Now played through the centre, another chance for Southend. He's down to dead ball line. Can he pull this ball back across? It's closed down, shot from the edge of the area, hits into the legs of Gateshead player, and now Gateshead can try and bring the ball away through Boone. Boone has to hold it up, gives it, and play it inside. Flint dispossessed, and referee says play on.
Really good start from Southend, isn't it? Real high intensity, looking to put Gates under serious pressure here.
Well, they started very much on the front foot, and Gateshead just trying to get a grip in the game, chasing the ball down as Dom Telford leading the line. Ball played over the top, and Connor Panny plays it out of touch on the far side, and it's a throw in to the visitors, but Scott Morris being very heavily involved from the get-go on this right-hand side.
As you'd expect, one of the best players in the league, certainly one of the best sort of attacking wing-backs. I think I heard mentioned earlier on was top goal scorer last season.
He was
for Southend, so you know what he's going to try and do, get forward.
Well, just looking at him now, he's at the back waiting for a cross to come in. The ball goes out for a goal kick, but he's always finely poised, isn't he? And not just going forward. His defensive work's good as well. But 3 minutes gone here at Gateshead International Stadium, 0-0. Tiernan Brooks making a big save in the first 20 seconds of the game. Gateshead will be looking to settle their nerves and get themselves in a more fluid motion of the game. As Southend really closing down, win the ball, edge of the box, goes for a shot, and it hits off the woodwork. It's follow-up shot into the back of the net, and there's the opening goal. Sam Austin with the follow-up, and Gateshead just a little bit clumsy at the back. Maybe not the best communication, and certainly didn't clear the lines. But it's Gateshead 0, Southend 1, 4 minutes gone.
Gateshead playing themselves into trouble there, trying to play out from the back, and it just wasn't really on. Not alert enough in midfield, not quick enough, wasn't snappy enough, and it's a great finish from a narrow angle, by the way. You got Tiernan Brooks at his near post there. Obviously, I think it was a higher forcing shot that hit the post. It's come back out of Austin. It's a great finish.
Yeah. Well, Southend started with intent, and they've got their reward so far. 4 minutes gone. Sam Austin has put Southend United in the lead. What do Gateshead have in reply?
Well, they've got to come out and really show what they're about now. And, it's been a slow start from Gateshead. And they need to try and come out and hit back as soon as possible. Otherwise, the game will get away from them, even this early on.
Well, Dom Telford stands over the ball to get the game back underway. As Kent Richardson plays the ball out to Connor Panny. Josh Owen playing just in front of the back four. Gateshead number 17. Ball played forward by Grayson, looking to get it up towards Dom Telford, beaten in the air. Ferguson gets the ball down and passes it straight to Scott Morris, and now Scott Morris is on the run on the inside. Can he get the ball through to him? He can. Can he get a shot away? And good defending, but still not fully cleared. Back post. Oh, just tipped over the bar. Well, the referee says it went out straight away. No goal kick. It's a goal kick. Looked like a save from my point of view. But
I think he's just got too much on it and sort of looped it back over. I can't see who it is.
But either way, Gateshead very shaky at the back at the moment.
Yeah, getting overrun in that final third, aren't they? At the moment, Southend just absolutely all over them.
Tiernan Brooks gives the ball to Joe Grayson. The wind is swirling around the International Stadium at the moment. Dom Telford beaten in the air, but ball nodded forward by Flint. Been cleared. Brought down by Austin. Lays it off, and Scott Morris can bring the ball forward as Bowen tries to dispossess and goes down.
That's better. That's really the first time Gateshead have really put some pressure on when Southend have been in possession.
Yeah, well, at the moment, the passing game from Southend, they've got into their rhythm a lot quicker than Gateshead having the ball on the far side as Pani nods the ball out for a throw-in on the far side. It's been a lightning start from the visitors, Southend. Of course, one of the longer trips they'll have this season in the National League. This ball in the edge of the area is going to go for a shot. It goes through, deflected. An offside flag does go up, so it's a free kick to Gateshead. But I tell you what, he caught that ball.
He really did, didn't he? He really did. It was a great strike. Blocked, I'd imagine, by one of his own players if it's been given offside.
Well, a lot of conversation going along between the Gateshead players. As the ball comes out to Kent Richardson, who aims up looking for the run of Dom Telford, nodded out on the far side. And it's a throw into Gateshead halfway inside the Southend half.
Just need to establish themselves in the game, get a foothold. Gateshead haven't really shown any attacking threat as yet. Haven't been allowed to, really.
I was about to say, Southend have done such a fantastic job of closing down the work rate from the front men as Paulson Gateshead to pass it back to Tiernan Brooks on the edge of the area, who does find Flint, plays it back, comes over to Grayson, plays it inside to Josh Holm.
That's better.
Flint now can turn and get the ball across to Connor Pani, who finds Fitzhugh on the far side. Sorry, it isn't Fitzhugh on the far side, but Gateshead do win the ball back. But Southend quickly regroup themselves, put their ball forward, intercepted by Gateshead, and Gateshead still yet to find some composure on the ball, Mark.
Yeah, they need to get some time in possession, don't they, just to settle things down a little bit. They're starting to do that now.
Fitzhugh drops deep to get involved and carries the ball forward, plays it inside to Telford, but the ball was just prodded away from him. He's kind of played a little bit behind him there, and poor pass from Southend sees the ball go out right on the halfway line for a throw to Gateshead. Ferguson, former Hartlepool United man.
Some options.
Gives the ball to Fitzhugh, who hit it off his thigh and bounced away from him. And a free kick given against Kent Richardson there. Just
Chapman, I think, wasn't it?
Was it Chapman, was
Yeah.
it? Oh, Chapman's on listed. Yeah, sorry, Fitzhugh on the other side. Yeah, but yeah, Kent Richardson just giving away a professional tackle there. Stop the game. An opportunity for Southend to get the big men forward here. It is going to be Hussein who's going to put the ball into the far side of the box and just a little bit too much on it, and out it goes for a goal kick to Gateshead. Got to commend the work rate from the front, the forward line from the visitors so far. Charlie Kendall has been absolutely relentless so far.
Causing all sorts of problems, aren't they, for that Gateshead back four?
Well,
as you say, the work rate, the intensity they're playing with, been really impressive. But Gateshead, really, as I said, just need to get some time on the ball.
Well, poor pass. Ball from Flint just got caught underneath his foot, and Tiernan Brooks had to quickly read that one and put it out of play. And they're not doing themselves any favours at the moment, Gateshead. They need to composure is key at the moment, and they're lacking a little bit of it. It's going to be a throw from the far side for Southend. Austin played forward.
Settled down, foot on the ball there.
I think Josh Room had a little bit more time than he realised. There's good pressure from Chapman.
It's a great kick.
Ball up in the air.
Oh, well
Comes
done.
off the back of Grayson's head, back to the keeper. Well, 10 minutes gone here at Gateshead International Stadium, and Gateshead trail by a goal. Sam Austin latching onto a rebounded ball off the post after a frenetic start from the visitors, who have really been turning the pressure on this young Gateshead side. There's a ball played back to Dangandy, who I think that's his first touch of the game, actually, 10 minutes in.
I'd appreciate that, settling the season.
Crossfield ball goes out to play for a Gateshead throw just inside their own half on the far side of the field. Conopani stands with the ball.
Some early goals in the National League as well. York City just gone 1-0 up against Sutton.
We'll keep you updated with those and have a full rundown at half-time of the half-time scores in the National League. As Tiernan Brooks gives the ball to Flint. Flint under pressure and has fouled in the process.
Altrincham beating Aldershot Town as well.
Opening day always does seem to bring out a lot of goals, doesn't it? And Scunthorpe are winning 1-0 away to Tamworth as well, as the ball bounces. Just chipped over to Scott Morris, who gives it the old Peter K. Welly up the pitch. And it wasn't a bad pass forward either. It was good pressure on the Gateshead defence as Conor Panny clears the ball up to Fitzhugh on the far side, who has to battle. Well, Grayson on the ball. He's looking for options, looking for movement at the moment. Southend are saying break us down, and the ball over the top looking for Dom Telford. Isn't going to get there, but the ball bouncing midfield. Flint manages to get it to Kenton, who puts it back over the top towards Dom Telford. Battling midfield, the ball does fall. And Ferguson can bring it forward here on this left-hand side. Tries to thread a ball through.
Tell you what, the idea was right. It was nice there. Callum Bowen just picking up a little pocket of space just on the edge of the area. If that ball got through, I think he would have very least had a chance of getting in on goal.
Ferguson gives the ball to Boom, who pins it forward, and Bowen was just fouled there as he tried to turn and play it, and a little bit of afters from Scott Morris there, making himself known. As Home gives it to Ferguson. Ferguson did make a run forward, but the ball goes back and Gateshead keep possession.
This little passage of possession here will do Gateshead the world of good, you know.
Ball over the top, though, looking for the run of Chapman. Chapman chases down, and Taylor nods the ball over towards Scott Morris, who's under pressure from Chapman. Scott Morris holding the ball up, and it comes off Chapman for a throw too.
It definitely did.
It definitely did come off him. He's pleading his innocence, but I think even a partially sighted fellow would say that that came off Chapman. Fantastic noise from the away fans still. It's been relentless. Southend launched the ball up the right-hand side of the pitch. It's going to come to Kent Richardson under pressure. Gives it to Conor Panny. Panny can bring the ball over the halfway line. He needs an option, needs an outlet, and he finds it on the far side. Fitzhugh cuts inside, gives it to Boone, who turns well in the box. Can he cut it back across? Just dispossessed. Lovely footwork, but just couldn't get it away from himself after he got the ball, the youngster, but Kent Richardson sees that out for a throw on the far side.
Yeah, that's better. Little moments of promise from Gateshead. Nothing in terms of a goal threat yet, but a promising passage of play, as I said.
Well, Gateshead play the ball out to Ferguson, wearing number 3 for Gateshead. Plays it inside to Bowen. Bowen's touch. He's having to hold off his man. Does well, but it's poked away from him. And now they're on the attack as the ball comes out, and Ferguson just intercepts, does enough to get the ball away from... Oh, hasn't went out yet. And the Scott Morris...
It's gone out.
Well, corner given. Ferguson doing enough to
Justice.
stop the Pio Forsen from getting onto that ball. In the transition, they're using the ball well, Southend United. They're getting forward in numbers and giving options to the teammates. You see the corner come in from this right-hand side. In comes the delivery. It's in towards the area, headed away.
Good header.
As Dom Telford flicks that ball there, looking for Harry Chapman to run onto. And can he get the legs and play it all the way back to the keeper, who calmly punts that up the pitch, but it won't fall to a Gateshead shirt as Austin puts it forward on the far side, and it's just a little bit too much on that for Charlie Kendall to try and keep in.
A chance there for Gateshead to seize possession, but Conor Panny just held off a little bit and going in to try and take command of the ball. Otherwise, it might not have a threat. But that quick ball forward there nearly caused problems for the Southend defence.
Joe Grayson pings the ball up towards Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh turns his man and sees the ball run away. Gets a hold of it on the touchline on the far side. And he can cut inside of it himself. He has got Ferguson in acres of space, who he uses on this left-hand side. He's looking for a runner, just dispossessed.
No movement.
And now Fitzmaurice on the overlap, if he's wanting to be used. And the ball now comes out to Morris. Ball put in, just caught underneath the feet. And there's a shot and there's a foul from Charlie Kendall. He did go in from behind. And a free kick to Gateshead. But once again, Scott Morris, just an absolute menace.
He is, and you know what he's going to do. He's going to try and break forward down that right-hand side. He's got good delivery in the box. Always a real threat from that sort of wing-back position in Gateshead there. There's a little bit of a pressure on, I guess, Harry Chapman to try and help David Ferguson and track back, which hasn't quite happened yet.
Well, Kent Richardson plays it back to Tiernan Brooks.
Needs moving.
Yeah. Well, there's movement on the far side, Conor Panny, but he telegraphed that run. And it goes to Kent Richardson, who pings it over the top, looking for the run of Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh's going to get there. Can he get past it? He's got a shot through. Oh, into the side net, and it's a goal kick. But quick feet from Fitzhugh and a good bit of movement from Gateshead. It dragged Ang Deng Niddy out. But unfortunately for Gateshead, the ball goes wide.
Yeah, caught no man's land there, wasn't he, the keeper? Just if that's on target, he scores something as that. So that's better. A bit of promise for Gateshead, something to build on.
Fitzhugh just starting to grow into the game somewhat in the last 5 minutes. Goal kick. Bounces through. Grayson didn't get to it. Flicked over by Ferguson to Conor Panny, who in turn puts it out towards the right-hand wing. But don't know if it's a win today, but both teams not really getting their radar in. The ball shooting off and out of play.
Not really sure what direction it's going in either. It seems to be swirling a bit.
Yeah. Solihull Moors are winning 1-0 at home to Forest Green at the moment. And Braintree are winning 1-0 at home to Halifax. As ball brought forward by Harry Taylor, out to Scott Morris. Scott Morris looks to get the ball straight into the mixer, and Gateshead managed to deal with it, but they're under pressure.
No, well done.
Dom Telford has come back to help with defensive duties there, but he's back up top now, waiting for a delivery as the pressure from the visitors.
It's good. Gateshead worked that well.
Relentless got it out. This is a shirt pull, but didn't get to it as Dom Telford well, the referee, he's telling them to calm down. There's a little bit of handbags there. Shirt pulling. Southend clear the ball up here towards Scott Morris, who wins the header, bounces down to Kendall. Kendall beaten to the ball as Ferguson, I think, just got a caught on the thigh there after that one, or the hip. He's back up though.
I think it may be his glute, should have called it.
Yeah. Well, he seems to be...
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. He's up. Ball comes across to Ferguson now. Gets the ball up to Bowen. Bowen tries to flick it on. Does get to Dom Telford. But the ball now with Josh Home. Josh Home plays the ball across.
Oh, the idea's right.
He just hesitated before he hit that one.
I think Panny was the ball,
Yeah. But we're starting to see Gateshead players growing confidence. It's a rocky first 15 minutes with the press from the visitors, which paid dividends. 20 minutes gone, Gateshead 0, Southend 1. Sam Austin with the goal. This kick finds Panny, who nods it down to
did very well.
Tiernan Brooks, who's all in light blue today. Changed from the goalkeeper strips that were pink in recent years.
All that yellow spotty effort. That.
Mr. Tumble type of strip, wasn't it? As Ferguson plays it down the line to Bowen. Bowen tries to hold it up, but comes off him for a throw in front of the Gateshead dugout. Scott Morris tries the ball on his shirt. And he's on the running track to get a little bit more leverage in his throw with the run-up. Southend sends some big men forward, and with that wind swirling, in comes the ball, and it's very direct. It's been nodded back. There was a foul in the build-up. And
quite an obvious one.
Yeah. Big push
Ferguson?
down.
Ferguson again, yeah, got pushed.
Yeah. Ferguson putting his body on the line. Ferguson chips the ball forward, and Harry Chapman just couldn't keep that in. Now it goes for another throw to the visitors. Scott Morris blasts the ball up, or holds up in the air in the wind a little bit there. We've seen how the wind is just blowing towards the Southend goal at the moment. But Gateshead in possession. Kent Richardson plays it back to Tiernan Brooks. Boom gets involved and gives it back to Kent Richardson. His ball forward, headed back by the Southend defence, and it's picked up in midfield by Flint. Gives it back to Kenton Richardson. Tiernan Brooks inside his area, just stops the ball. There. Home gives it to Kent Richardson, who can bring the ball forward himself now. Lays it down the line to Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh up against his man, cuts in, sees Ferguson in space on this side and passes it to him. Ferguson, just a wicked bounce, but he still gets it there. And Harry Chapman with a blind pass there, intercepted. As they wait for Gateshead to try and close down and foul fits Scott Morris in the process. And he seems to be in some discomfort. We'll be amazed if he can carry on with the pain that he's in. But time will tell. Does seem to hold his knee. And the referee has stood over him. Hasn't signalled for the physio to come on just yet.
It's like a massive amount of concern, does it?
Not at all.
From the official.
But if you're joining us on our audio stream on YouTube, please do hit like and subscribe. It really does help. And if you do fancy watching the game and you're in sunnier climes, shall we say, abroad, you can watch the game live on DAZN. I believe there's an offer on for £99 to get every game this season. So do visit the National League section of the DAZN website. Well, the free kick for Southend has been taken by the keeper. Joe Grayson wins the header, gets it to Connor Panny, who has time to thread the ball forward. It's blocked, but it falls back to Panny. Panny plays it across to Ferguson, and Ferguson finds Chapman. Chapman with a nice little bit of footwork to cut him inside. Couldn't get past the second man and goes over his man. It was a good firm challenge. And it finds Southend on the break on the far side. It's a lovely ball out there. Referee sees play on. Ball into the centre. Tiernan Brooks was coming for it, but no nonsense from Kent Richardson.
Yeah, Ken Richardson doing exactly the right thing there and taking command of the situation. Couldn't risk Brooks being beaten to the ball. So he's done exactly the right thing.
So sometimes you've got to give the referee a bit of credit there, and he played it on really well. Got a long throw coming from the left-hand side of the pitch. As I say that, he goes short, but he comes back. And we're going to see a cross deep into the box here. Right towards the back post. There's Scott Morris. Puts it back across and inches away. Crosses an empty goal mouth. And there's the follow-up shot. Hasn't been cleared yet fully, and it's going to go out for a corner. And Scott Morris is showing exactly why he gets as many goals as he does from his position.
Yeah, he was also given the freedom of the far post there by Gateshead. It's a great ball in from the left-hand side, and somebody just hasn't tracked Scott Morris. You know, they know the threat. And he's been allowed to just waltz in far post on his own. And look, I think he sort of caught between going for goal and trying to find a man at the far post.
Angle as well, but the technique to get that ball across was fantastic. Here comes the ball in, headed across. Really had the goal in his mercy, Ben. Good life, and it went past the post. Really should have been hitting the target from there.
It's a difficult header because he's sort of coming away from goal as well, and he's got to angle at the cross that's come in from the left. It's not really massively well hit. It's sort of looping, so he's having to put the power on it with his neck whilst he's sort of moving away from goal. So I think he's done well to get it. Well,
I think you should have hit it.
Well, I think you're wrong.
As Gateshead build out from the back. Obviously a familiar style of Gateshead that's been kept by Alan Armstrong.
Yeah, but they are mixing it up a little bit and going a little bit more direct than they were last season. They weren't just playing out for the sake of playing out. They are trying to go along at times like that.
That's up towards Dom Telford, who loses the aerial battle, but the ball does fall, and Fitzhugh can bring the ball forward. He's got Bowen inside, but he goes out to Chapman. Chapman, corner of the box, just dispossessed, and Gateshead doing well to close down to stop the ball from being cleared immediately. But that was a good turn from Josh Walker, and Josh Walker plays it through, overhit it, but it's still going to fall to Charlie Kendall. Puts it across, and Gateshead living very dangerously there and got away with one. Charlie Kendall should have really made Gateshead pay a little bit more there as John Telford wins the free kick on the halfway line. But I thought the ball initially was overhit, but Kendall timed his run perfectly to get onto it.
Tell you what, Dave. I know the Premier League teams are having a nightmare today. Just having a look through Concert being beaten, Morpeth being beaten, Newton Aycliffe being beaten. Wow. Redcar Athletic have just gone 1-0 up with Blythe Spartans. Blythe Town getting beat in their first game at that level at Brighouse.
What is it with these North East sides getting beat?
I know. Glad I don't have to cover all that. Gee.
Well, 28 minutes gone. If you're just joining us, Gateshead trail by a goal to nil. Sam Austin, and must be said, Southend started fantastic as the ball bounces through, and that's going to fall to Middy, who has really had a really quiet afternoon, bar the time he had to come running out in his court in no man's land. But
it's like rush of blood to the head, wasn't it, really?
Yeah. It is a glorious day on Tyneside. Normally is this time of year. Savouring it as much as we can, because those cold January nights will be with us before we know it. As the ball is being cleared up the pitch by Nathan Ralph.
Well done.
And Grayson does well to hold it up, and the referee does give the handball against.
There's complaints from the away bench. They need to look at the fact that the defender, or the, I can't say it was who handled it, but he just hasn't complained.
Gateshead trying to play the quick free kick there. I think the fourth official's even having a word there on that one.
Yeah.
Southend with a long ball up towards Scott Morris, fouls Ferguson in the process. Gateshead just starting to find themselves a little bit here. Obviously not challenging the final third too much, but they're starting to deal with Southend a little bit more in midfield.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's just been a little bit of a settling in period, hasn't it? We shouldn't forget it is a largely new Gateshead side, and it's different playing in pre-season than it is playing a competitive game.
When it's full-blooded, it's something different, isn't it? We know that.
And against a very, very good side, by the way.
Dare I say, one of the sides that will be challenging at the top this year is the ball on the far side. Nice first touch. Oh, he wins the corner. It's a good kick.
Yeah, came back off him. Good decision.
But yeah,
it's a corner there, didn't it?
Yeah,
it's a goal kick.
Yeah. I fully expect Southend to be up there challenging for most of the season if they can build on what they did at the back end of last.
The quality they've got, we spoke about before the game, and they are going to be right up there challenging. They will be seen as one of the favourites for at very, very least a playoff place, if not more. So I don't think we've seen anything here that's necessarily a surprise for Gateshead or for anyone watching. So but Gateshead do have to improve.
Chapman having his shirt pulled from behind. Referee says it's all fair game. And that's not one for the highlight reel for Josh Walker there. He went for the audacious volley and skew whiffs it, I think is the best way we can describe that one, out to the far side.
Yeah, certainly skewed it, didn't it? Out for a throw-in. Not his finest moment, but there is threat there.
He's well within his rights to try and do it.
Max Sheaf coming out to warm up, along with Kane and Dom, 2 options from the bench for Gateshead.
Wow. To the subs. I don't think there'll be any change just yet, but
Fenton John as well.
They're hungry to get on, obviously. And
always went anywhere.
Ball does come back to Gateshead. Tiernan Brooks can clear this ball in turn. Fitzhugh goes to challenge for it, and it falls to a yellow shirt. Scott Morris in the centre circle just takes a touch and carries himself out to the right-hand side, stops, plays it back. As Harry Taylor gets the ball back again. Lays it off. Ball chipped forward. Nice little flick back to nicely read. And can Gateshead get on the break here? Ball forward for Dom Telford to try and chase onto. He's going to just get there, but the ball goes out of play before he can. And great turn of foot there from Harry Taylor.
Yeah, made up about 10 yards on him, didn't he? It was, but again, that little bit too much on the ball from Gateshead. I'm not sure it necessarily needed to be played in the air, played over the top like that. And I think there was a good chance for Telford to get him behind.
Just think he needs a little bit more support from the 3 players just behind him. Ferguson fouls Josh Walker there, wrestled him to the ground. No complaints. Crossfield ball though.
Got to get out there.
Taken quickly. Connor Panny goes over to try and win the ball back. He's standing firm. But Southend still in possession. Here comes the overlap. Can they get the cross in? Pulls it back to the edge of the box. Ralph, the captain, lays it off again. And now Southend do get the cross in. And
should not be getting that cross in at all. Can't see who had the header, was it?
I think it was Josh Walker that had the header. He didn't manage to guide it goalwards, but he was in amongst 3 players there. And as you say, the cross shouldn't have got in. The header should. But good work from Southend to probe it out.
I think what we're seeing in the middle of the pitch in particular is Gateshead just haven't got a physical presence in there. There's not that intensity or that, as I say, that experience really to young midfield. And I think at the minute they're just being a little bit overrun, just like that.
Well, ball played in to the centre there.
I know it's
Harry Taylor.
Definitely something they're working on to try and bring in someone experienced, but at the minute...
it looks like there's still a couple of weeks away for Jacob Butterfield as well.
And it's important to remember it is day 1 of the season. It's not as if
it's a well-oiled machine. Yeah,
it's still a lot of work to do, and that's better.
Tackle from David Ferguson there.
But I do think there is a need. You can see it here for just a little bit of know-how, a little bit of knowledge in midfield, in the middle.
Just got to commend both teams here. There's been some full-blooded tackles, and there hasn't been any upsetness about it. It's been firm and fair, hasn't it?
It has.
Scott Morris picks out Higher Forson. Can he pull the back across? It's a heavy one there. I don't know if they're misjudging the wind a couple of times here, but that one was a rocket across to the...
I was down to technique.
Yeah. I was trying to be kind. But 35 minutes we're into now here at Gateshead International Stadium. It's Gateshead 0, Southend 1. Sam Austin with the goal. It rebounded off the woodwork, and there he was to put it in from an acute angle. But the early work from Southend has given them a deserved lead, it has to be said at the moment. But Gateshead still trying to get themselves a foothold in the game and carve out some chances for themselves.
Good ball.
Dom Telford drops deep to get him the ball, lays it over to Bowen. Bowen, little touch to Ferguson. Ferguson cuts in. Dom Telford, who's still deep, looks to get the ball moving forward as Callum Bowen plays it inside to Josh Home, and Josh Home just manages to poke the ball to Kenton Richardson, but Just needs to be a little bit more on his toes, Josh Home. He's got swamped there.
Yeah, that's kind of a little example of what I was talking about there, where Josh Holmes just got done being really naive in midfield.
Dom Telford, nice touch back to Ferguson. Home gives it to Grayson. Grayson spots the crossfield run, or the run through the centre, should I say. It's going to bounce through, and he's still going to try and get to it. It's a great run. Good defending, though, from the captain, Ralph. Calm, didn't let anything happen there, and Kenton Richardson and Charlie Kendall. Charlie Kendall's in some discomfort. He's back up, Gateshead underway. They're coming together there. I don't know if it's a stand on the toes there.
He's limping though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's limping.
Movement.
He's moving though. He's didn't look to be anything in it, just to coming together, didn't it? Where they're both looking at the ball. I can surmise. Doesn't seem anything coming from Kendall towards Kent Richardson, so I don't think it was anything malicious. There's Kendall on the ball now. Nice little touch delayed off. He's asking for it back, but it goes to Hussein. Ralph plays it down the left-hand channel. Has been kept in, but Gateshead just slow it down and get the ball moving again. Comes to Joe Grayson on the edge of the area, who sees the ball through the centre. It wasn't picked up, but Harry Chapman wins it back and gets it back to Joe Grayson. Just seeing a little bit more composure as the game goes on for Gateshead. But as you say, midfield just needs someone to slow it down, maybe, or a bit more control. Josh Holmes and Flint, both very young players in their footballing journey.
And then you got Bourne in midfield as well. I mean, the average age of that midfield must be 21 maximum. If not a little bit younger than that, I think.
I think a little bit younger, yeah.
Bourne 17. Spennymoor Town just gone 1-0 up against Hereford in the National League North.
Tamworth are level with Scunthorpe at the moment. Sutton United are level at York City as well, 1-1 in both games as the ball played forward, looking for Bourne to try and get onto that. Back to the keeper who clears the ball. Good kick. As Gateshead try and clear it, but the yellow shirts swarm and get possession of the ball. Grayson nods it down, and Ferguson,
good feet,
keeps the ball moving. Gives it to Grayson inside the area, who tries to clear the ball forward. Hasn't fully been cleared by Gateshead as Flint loses his foot, and Scott Morris plays it inside there, and Tiernan Brooks quickly off his line to gather that one.
Just had a little spell there, didn't he, Joe Grayson? We're just a bit uncertain. And I think, with Joe as well, we shouldn't forget that he's, in terms of competitive games, it's been a while since he's had...
This time last season, it was the first game of the season where he 5-0 up and rolls his ankle.
Sutton have just equalised at York.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not great.
That is not a good one there, as I think it was Nathan Ralph has absolutely went in to, is it Fitzhugh on the far side? It's a nasty one. Only gets a yellow card. We're not blessed with replays from our vantage points, and it looked a late one and a high one.
The one thing I'll say in his defence is he's looking at the ball.
Yeah.
There's no intent.
It's more clumsy than anything else.
And I understand why there's a yellow, because it's still dangerous. But at the same time, calling for a red, I think, is a bit much.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't anywhere near a red.
It's clumsy and
it's unfortunate, yeah. But, hopefully Panny is...
Is it Connor Panny?
It's Connor Panny. I mean, this would be a blow for Gateshead, given, he's effective Flynn as an emergency right back.
Well, he's still down on the ground. The physios are talking to Connor. I believe they are probably going through a concussion protocol here. They haven't let him sit up yet. So this might be the end of Connor Panny's afternoon here. Safety first. If it is a head injury, both sets of players are taking this time to take on water. It is a warm day out there. There is a bit of wind, but they are out fully in the sun. But Conor Panny does look like they're going through the concussion
I
protocol.
can't see him continuing here.
No,
I really can't.
I don't think it'd be very wise. We'll go through some live scores at the moment. Internationally, Altrincham are winning 2-0 at home to Aldershot. It's 0-0 between Borehamwood and Rochdale. 0-0 at Brackley and Eastleigh. Braintree are 2-0 to the good against FC Halifax. Of course, here it's Gateshead 0, Southend 1. Solihull Moors 1, Forest Green 0. It is 1-1 between Tamworth and Scunthorpe. 0-0 between Wheelstone and Truro. Woking 0, Carlisle United 0, Yeovil 0, Hartlepool United 0, and it is 1-1 at York City and Sutton United. And as I say, it does look like they are going through the concussion protocol with Conor Panny. They haven't let him sit up yet. Both the medical staff for Gateshead are over there going through the checks with Conor Panny. And yeah, Mark, I would be surprised if he continues this one. There is a few subs warming up, but we'll keep you updated on that as we find out more information. But at this moment in time, we have a break in play, and due to the injury to Conor Panny at this moment in time.
He hasn't moved, so I assume there's no way he can play on after this long a start.
No,
see Ben Williams maybe come on at right back.
Quite possibly. I mean, it's one of the good things in football that we've learned over the years and in many sports about head injuries and learning to look after players when it happens and not letting them continue play. Don't know if you ever had a concussion, Mark. It's not very nice. And we just hope Conor Panny is all right. That's if it is a concussion. We're surmising here at this moment in time. But I don't think Conor Panny will be continuing this game by the looks of this. There's an ice pack on the head. Oh no, it's a blue glove. I thought it was as the tactics for the visitors blows across the track.
I'm just sorry, Dave. I'm just watching the situation the way Ben shakers.
Yeah, I think the doctor's saying
Yeah, he's coming off.
Yeah. As you say, Mark, they haven't moved him.
Ben Sheaf coming on.
You might see Home or Flint go to.
It'll be Flint.
Right back, yeah.
Flint can play centre back.
It does look as if there is going to be a stretcher needed here. Hopefully, it's not a neck injury.
I'm sorry. I'm saying, and I realise we're down the middle here, and we have to be as much as we are, North East lads. But there's just a bit of a situation away at bench where they're almost mocking Gateshead fans who are trying to show a bit of concern for Conor Panny. It's a bit off. It's just a bit off.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, you're right. Stretcher coming on. Panny is going to be stretchered off.
As I say, we're not blessed with free players, and I don't know if Conor was unconscious or he's landed awkward on his neck or anything like that. But they're going through the protocols. The club doctor is out there, and the Southend bench physios have came out now to ask if everything's all right. But they're actually holding Conor's head there, so we hope Conor Panny.
How much bad luck can one lad have?
Yeah.
Every time he looks as if he's going to get a chance at Gateshead, he picks up an injury, and he doesn't seem to do little injuries. It's always, I mean, hopefully we hope this one isn't serious, but it doesn't look great. Just feel for Conor. There's a lot of talent in there.
Well, we spoke about him a lot in pre-season, Mark, and he's a player that has really filled out. He's a big lad. He's athletic. And it's just an awful look. It did look like circumstances had threw him into today's game, and he was trying to grasp it with both feet, so to say, or both hands, as whatever way you want to look at it. And the consequences of that is because he went fully in for the ball, as did Nathan Ralph, which is entitled to. We're not saying that, but it's a unfortunate set of circumstances for young Conor Panny, who is being stretched off the pitch as we speak now, and there will be time added on here. And so we don't know the full extent of the injury to Conor Panny, but we wish him a very quick and speedy recovery. As Max Sheaf is stripped and ready to go to replace Conor.
I think you may well see to be Kenton Richardson switched to right back, or maybe Flint and go straight in there. It's a change in an area where Gateshead need to strengthen as well.
Well, Connor Panny receiving a tremendous round of applause. It's not the applause he would have wanted, but he looks in some pain.
Just having a look there, it does look as if Flint is going to right back.
Yeah. Well, 45 minutes all up, but we've got about 6 or 7 minutes here to be added on. 6 minutes added on at the end here. Well, Max Sheaf's first bit of action is to try and help at this free kick. He's up there with the big men.
The one thing it does do, and obviously we don't want that to happen, but it does
Ball
mean
out to Fitzhugh on the right-hand side. He's twisting and turning, gets the cross into the box. Joe Grayson was at the back post, headed clear. Good defending. Scott Morris brings down as Max Sheaf gets his first touch on the ball. Just too much for him to do. It'll be 2 men, but the ball is being cleared by Southend and goes out for a Gateshead throw on the far side.
it does give Gateshead a little bit more experience in midfield.
It does. And just trying to see exactly where Max Sheaf is going to be. Yeah, it looks like for like with Flint. He's just in that midfield area, and Bowen's still a little bit higher up than him. But Kent Richardson plays the ball back to Brooks. Home plays it out to Sheaf.
Flint.
Sorry, doesn't Sheaf? It's Flint. Yeah,
He has gone
Flint,
right back.
yeah, it has
Definitely,
gone right
definitely
back,
gone
yeah.
right back.
That's why I'm getting confused. Grayson played the ball back to, and that's a poor ball forward.
Silly
It's
ball.
little flick
So is
there,
that-
and Gateshead managed to get the ball moving forward out to Dom Telford on the right flank. Max Sheaf plays it to Flint. Flint just takes a touch and plays it safely back to Kenton Richardson. Holmes gets it to Flint, who we mentioned before is in that right back position now. Ball pumped forward, held up in the air. The wind is swirling. It's not being kind to either side, the wind.
You can see there which way it's blown, can't you? Because
Yeah.
it's virtually come back on itself. So it's clearly blown towards the college end here at the Gateshead Stadium.
Throw taken. Max Sheaf just
Got away with that one.
Yeah, ball goes out for a throw. Just needs to be a little bit more switched on, and you could say that about most of the Gateshead side today. They just need to get themselves at the races, as it were. But Southend, they've done everything right this afternoon so far.
They have, yeah. They've been good having everything we thought they would be. You know, they're playing with a very sort of defined style of play, putting Gateshead under pressure. Gateshead haven't held themselves at times, but
Tom Telford outmuscles his man, and Fitzhugh tries to flick it over, but it's still like a rash. Plays back the keeper, and good kick from the Andeng Niddy.
big old punt that, isn't it?
Yeah. That's one thing you can see. His kicking has been very good this afternoon.
South Shield's gone 1-0 up against Marine at half time. Ian Watson, former Gateshead assistant manager, first competitive game in charge of them. Former Gateshead player scoring as well, Dan Ward.
He had a terrible injury last year, Dan Ward. Nice to see him back amongst the goals.
Yeah, really bad hamstring injury.
Completely snapped, didn't it? So, had to be all put back together.
Big player under Ian at Shields, though.
Now we're into the 49th minute. We've still got about 4 minutes left to play here.
Was there
Southend have the sorry?
was it announced how many minutes?
6
were there?
minutes. 6 minutes, yeah. It's a throw in on the far side near the corner flag to the visitors. And Southend would love nothing more than to double their lead just before the half-time whistle. And Gateshead will have to be fully switched on for this Scott Morris delivery.
It feels like a big moment in the game, you know, like if you can go in half time just 1-0 down, it's it gives you something to hit back in the second half. But if they get one here,
In it comes towards the area. It's been nodded up, hasn't been cleared by Gateshead. Overhead kick tried, and Gateshead having to close down. Southend still in possession, right hand side of the box. As twisting and turning is Harry Boys.
Oh, well played.
Oh, and now Apaya,
Tackle.
Forson. Good tackle there from Chapman to put it out. But Apaya Forson was unleashing himself along the dead ball line there. Well, the corner comes in, headed clear the near post. Ferguson and head injury. Ferguson put his body on the line there once again. Now, I think he's all right. Just had the stuffing knocked out of him, as it were. But we are still playing because if you're just joining us, there was an injury to Connor Panny and there was a lengthy stoppage. But we've probably got about 2 minutes left of that time added on.
Realise it's early to be thinking about stuff like this, but I think I'd be tempted to get Kane Adam on second half. Just a bit of pace, bit of thrust in wide areas. I think Gateshead haven't quite had
something to put Southend on the back foot, which there's been a couple of attacks from Gateshead, but there hasn't really been anything that's made Southend panic.
Apart from the one chance that they did have. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something needed.
It's a drop ball here, and Southend are on the attack. There we go. Ball chipped over. And, well, he couldn't get near it. Could Ben Goodlife, sorry.
Sort of knocked the stuff out everyone, hasn't it? The Panny injury, just gone a little bit quiet since then, and understandable from the Gateshead point of view because
I wouldn't describe the game as blood and thunder, but it lost a little bit of the enthusiasm, didn't it? After that,
bit of edge, yeah.
Tiernan Brooks nodded back by Scott Morrison. There is the half-time whistle. Gateshead going a goal down to Southend United. Sam Austin with the goal, but the talking point at half-time will be the concern for Connor Panny. But Gateshead really do need to up their game in the final third. They need to ask questions of this Southend United defence.
Yeah, they do. Not borrowing that sort of one chance. Also midway through the half, possibly it's all Gateshead really created. I think Southend, as I said earlier, they've looked everything I thought they would be. They're good on the ball. They're strong. There's plenty of pressure being put on Gateshead. I think they can be got at defensively, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Gateshead just haven't done that quite enough yet. So maybe there is a need for that bit more experience in midfield.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Gateshead make any changes at half-time or after half-time to try and unlock this Southend United defence. But at the moment, it's Gateshead 0, Southend United 1. And we are going to go quiet for about 10 minutes, gather our thoughts, and we'll be back for the second half very soon. Well, everybody, welcome back. I'll go through the half-time scores for you here in the National League. Of course, some games will be kicking off very, very shortly. We have a little delay here to the second half due to finishing later to the injury to Connor Panny. The word around the campfire is that there was rib injury on Connor Panny. So thankfully not head injury, but he'll not be feeling much better if it is a broken rib. So we wish Connor Panny a speedy recovery either way. The halftime scores are this in the National League. It is Altrincham 2, Aldershot 0. It's 0-0 between Borehamwood and Rochdale. Brackley 1, Eastleigh 0. Braintree 2, FC Halifax 0. Of course, it's 1-0 to Southend here at Gateshead. 10 men Solihull Moors are winning 1-0 at home to Forest Green. Tamworth 1, Scunthorpe United 2, Wheelstone 1. And that doesn't look good as an ambulance arrived actually, so we might have even more delayed to the kickoff here for second half. So that's not great at all. So Wheelstone 1, Truro 0, Woking 0, Carlisle United 0, Yeovil 0, Hartlepool 0, and it is 1-1 between York City and Sutton United. But of course, our concerns are more with Connor Panny at the moment than the scores in around the league. Ambulance has been arrived, so if it is a rib injury, it must be quite a serious one. They must be able to move him at all, and medical assistance is here at the moment on the track here at Gateshead International Stadium. So hopefully we will see Connor Panny go to get treatment quickly if it's needed. But Mark, not a sign that you really want to see here at any football match, let alone at a Gateshead home game.
No, a real concern that it is that, and that there is an ambulance turned up. Fingers crossed Connor is able to recover, but it's not a great sign when you see an ambulance turn up like that.
Not great at all. So our thoughts are with Connor Panny, of course, local lad. He's family run the Panny restaurant in Newcastle, which is a really nice establishment. But as I say, we're just more concerned about Connor Panny at the moment. But Mark, some interesting scores around the league there. 10 men Solihull Moors facing off against a team that will be talked about a fair amount this season. Forest Green Rovers, of course, got their new manager in Robbie Savage. He's always had talking points throughout his career, and cutting his teeth at National League level now. I'd say that's an interesting scoreline.
Yeah, it is. A lot will be expected of Forest Green this year. A lot of money gone in there. Really impressive. Some really impressive signings, the likes of Nick Horton has gone there from Fylde. So it's going to be a bit of a shock if that one stays where it is. But
as I say, the Southend United team are back out. So the ambulance is on the running track. It isn't obstructing the game at all. So I don't know if we are going to get underway on time here. I know we are a little bit delayed anyway, but we'll keep you posted on that. If you would like to join us on the Heed Army podcast this Thursday, I'll give you a little clue. We should be speaking to David Ferguson.
That's not a little clue, Dave.
Yeah, a little clue. It's a blatant clue. We're hopefully going to be speaking to David Ferguson, hopefully another player on this week's show. Of course, last week we spoke to Frank Nublet and to Joe Grayson, and we'll say nice to get to meet some of the new players and have fans ask them questions. So please do hit that subscribe button and like, and also give a comment. It really does help us reach more people far and wide, and that's what we want to do here with the Heed Army podcast. Of course, we're incredibly blessed to bring you the commentary that is carried on DAZN as well. We're very proud of that. But as I say, we want to get more people coming along to the games. And of course, Southend United fans, if you're listening in, you can also as well give us a message about the game. We'll talk about it on this week's show, 8 o'clock live on YouTube. And we very much appreciate that. And of course, if you're watching on DAZN, you can watch all the games this season. And for £99, there's an offer on. So get yourself that. If you live further afield and can't make it to the games, you can still be here with us for every home game and away game live on DAZN. Gateshead are back out onto the pitch at the moment. And doesn't look like there's any changes for Gateshead, bar the one that was made due to the Conopani injury. And just for our audio listeners, I don't know if the camera has it on DAZN. There is an ambulance on the running track, and they're giving Conopani treatment, we believe. So, I would say the word around the campfire was a rib injury, but hopefully, whatever injury it is, it can be treated as soon as possible. So, but we are about to kick off here. Gateshead shooting towards the Felon end, and the visitors towards the River Tyne. Gateshead trail a goal to nil here, and be looking to get a quick foothold back in the game. But I'd imagine Southend will want to finish the half like they started it. Start the second half like they start the first half, Mark.
Well, they just need to repeat what they did in the first 45 minutes because they were better side for the vast majority of it. Gateshead obviously forced in a little reshuffle with Max Sheaf coming on in midfield and Flint going to right back. And yeah, Gateshead need a quick start here.
Joe Grayson will crossfield ball out towards Fitzhugh. Captain Ralph clears the ball. Didn't sit up very well for his teammate Houston there, but Southend still managed to pass it around, and he'll get the ball moving forward as it pings out towards that right-hand side. Scott Morris can play the ball forward, finds Apaya Forson, who turns, plays it across now to Austin, comes out to Boys. Boys looks to get a quick cross in, and he does. And there is Kent Richardson to put it behind, no nonsense. And it's an early corner to the visitors in the second half.
Yeah, one thing I think that's slightly let Gateshead down is the wingers not tracking the fullbacks when they're getting forward. It's causing a lot of problems for the two fullbacks, for David Ferguson and now Flint. Just something to keep an eye on because, we know Southend's wing-backs love getting forward.
Well, Boys puts the delivery into the box. It's a floated one. It's dangerous. It's been headed clear. And there's a free kick given in the process there. Kent Richardson fouled in the clearance. Gateshead played out short to Grayson. Grayson brings Ferguson into play, who puts it down the channel, looking for the run of Chapman. Headed out, and it's a throw into Gateshead just on the halfway line, or just before the halfway line, should I say. Ferguson with the throw.
Turn.
Little flick from home, finds its way to Kent Richardson. Flint in that right back position. Nice footwork. He's under pressure, plays it back to his keeper Brooks. Wanting movement. Ball forward comes. It's up towards Telford, who's beaten in the air. And you feel he probably will be beaten in aerial battles.
I was just about to say, I'm not sure the long ball into Telford's the one, is it?
Not really. As the ball through was, and Flint. Well, I think he got away with one there. He did pull down the player by his shirt, it looked like. Southend bench up in arms. And I think probably rightly so, but Gateshead bring the ball down as the ball falls to Sheaf. Sheaf looks to play the ball over to Tom Telford.
Come on.
Ferguson was the ball there, but he tried to keep the ball moving forward and the ball cleared.
Yeah, I think you're right. He did get away with one, by the way. It was definitely a foul.
Well, Grayson, Apaya Forson, now it's launched forward by Home. Southend happy to play the ball over the top. Ferguson wins the header. It's going to go out of play for a throw halfway inside the Gateshead half on the far side.
You do wonder at what point Alan Armstrong considers changes in the attacking third in particular.
Yeah, I think it's just something missing just behind Tom Telford. Maybe a Frank Newblade to come in and be maybe a bit of talisman, target man to bring Dom Telford into play and the wingers. We wait for this throw from Scott Morris. We know he's got a dangerous throw on him. Headed clear, but a cross goal overhead kick. And it goes out for a goal kick. And I don't know if it was wind involved in that one, but the header wasn't a very one that didn't have much conviction in it, did it?
Didn't have any at all. It was just a header for the sake of heading the ball, I think. Got to be better than that.
Brooks dinks the ball over to Ferguson. Ferguson under pressure, gets it to Bowen, who does well. Tom Telford. Oh, it isn't Telford. Sorry, it's Harry Chapman. These new players, I'm still getting used to them. Apologies. Scott Morris plays it down the channel there, but cleared by Gates. Only as far as Apaya Forson, and Callum Bowen trying to really get into the game here and assert himself. Throw into Gateshead on the far side.
Rochdale just gone 1-0 up at Boreham Wood.
Well, the wind is swirling around. We can see the trees on the far side. Still here. Nice sunny skies, but the wind just there to disrupt. And Gateshead picking up midfield through Home. Home didn't really look there and tried to play it out to Flint, and really needs to pick out a better pass. But Boys, left-hand side, he looks for his runner, turns and plays it back.
Isn't right in Gateshead's midfield at the moment.
No.
They're just getting bypassed. The need for another presence in there, someone to really take command. I think it's all too evident now.
At the moment, Southend passing the ball around well, looking for a probe and runs. There's Charlie Kendall was dropping deep and getting involved, but Scott Morris pings it over the top now, looking for a Apaya Forson, nodded down by Gateshead. And as you say, the midfield isn't helping the defence at all, and the Gateshead defence, I'm not going to say swamped at the moment, but they're having to put in a lot of work rate.
Oh, they're certainly not swamped, but there needs to be
relief.
Yeah, a bit of relief and someone to maybe hold the ball up, so maybe Nouvel is an option.
Oh, and the ball didn't quite go the way he wanted. Scott Morris is smacked Sheaf for a crucial interception. Ball cleared up towards Tom Telford. He needs support.
It's done brilliantly there.
He's held it up, and Flint looking forward, but it's quickly closed down. Kent Richardson takes a touch to carry it, get the ball forward. And Tom Telford, if he looks up, there's Ferguson.
She just went at Chapman.
Ferguson carries it over the left-hand side of the pitch, over the halfway line, back to Home. Gateshead with players further forward at the moment, need to pick out the right pass, and Fitzhugh just couldn't let it stick to him there. And Flint,
I think that's one I would consider as possibly Fitzhugh off and Adom on.
Nice footwork from Flint. He's holding the ball up well, protecting it. He's under pressure, gets it back to Kent Richardson, and in turn back to Brooks.
I'm not trying to suggest it's been a poor performance from Gateshead. I think they've stuck at it well.
It's a learning curve. We knew that, and right from the beginning, Alan said it would be. And there has been positives, but there needs to be a little bit more conviction, a little bit more action in the final third for Gateshead. And I think everyone would know that. But Apaya Forson driving forward, and Ferguson just was caught after he cleared it there.
I feel for the fourth official today, by the way.
Yeah.
Every decision going against Southend is getting torrented with a sense of frustration from the bench, don't you?
Yeah.
Kevin Meyer really having a go at him there. I can see why. It's a niggly little challenge. It's, but I think, again, we are quite a distance away here, but I think it is a foul.
Well, the referee was just on top of it as well, so... Kent Richardson, Callum Bowen, and Home didn't read the pass, and now Austin threads it out to the far side. Walker gets a shot away into the back of the net, and the poor pass in midfield let Southend United break away. Austin threaded in Josh Walker on the right-hand side of the pitch, and he just buried it into the back of the net. Gateshead 0, Southend United 2.
Yeah, that's the quality, isn't it, where Callum Bowen there just poor in midfield, a poor pass, missed time pass. And it's been ruthless from Southend, hasn't it? The chances they've had, they've taken generally. I think that's just the difference between the two sides at the moment.
Well, the away fans are in absolute their element at the moment. And why not? It's the opening day of the season, and their side is winning 2-0 away from home. Well, now is the time for this young side not to let the heads drop. Game certainly not out of reach, but as we said from early on, they need to get chances made in the final third.
It's going to be a real test for the youngster now, because obviously that's a big hit to his confidence, giving a goal away like that. So, let's see what he's made of.
Well, ball goes out of play for a Southend throw on our right-hand side. There is subs warming up for Gateshead.
I haven't seen Newell warming up yet.
Yeah. Kent Richardson nods the ball forward. Ball skew-whiffed up in the air again, but goes backwards towards the goalkeeper. Been very calm and composed, that back three of Southend. Even if the ball bounces a little bit awkward, there's no panic, is there?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think they've been great, the defensive unit.
Chapman turns, plays the ball in towards home. Grayson gives it to home. Home under pressure. The work rate from the visitors has been absolutely relentless, as Max Sheaf does pick out Callum Bowen. Bowen tries to hold it up, but just out-muscled. The ball goes out of play for a Gateshead throw, right in front of the dugout. Quickly taken. Kent Richardson gives the ball to Grayson. It's a poor one, and the keeper has been lobbed. The ball to Grayson, it bounced off his shins away, and there was Charlie Kendall, seen the keeper off his line and effortlessly lobbed it over, and it just rolled into the back of the net. Gateshead with an uphill battle now. Southend United lead 3-0 here at Gateshead International Stadium, the opening day of the Enterprise National League.
Yeah, some serious lessons need to be learned here from Gateshead. The heads are down. Someone needs to take control. Whether it's Kenton Richardson, Joe Grayson, or one of the experienced members of the squad. Not a lot of talking going on the pitch here, but there are subs coming on. Kane Dom.
Well, there is going to be two coming on. Hurst and Kane Dom are coming on for Gateshead. Both wingers, attacking wingers. Will it be like for like with the two attacking wingers, or will there be a bit of a reshuffle? Well, it is going to be Kane Dom comes on for Fitzhugh. And it is. It's like for like. It's the two attacking wingers are being replaced. Fenton John is stripped and ready to go as well, and I think it might be for home. We'll see in a second. It is Callum Bowen is going to make way after making his debut, the young 17-year-old. Never gave up today, kept going, didn't hide. Well, Gateshead have nothing to lose now. Will they throw the kitchen sink at it? 58 minutes gone. Gateshead trail by 3-0. Ferguson brings the ball forward. Drives forward with the ball, Ferguson. Left-hand side, plays it inside. But the ricochet ball falls to home. It's a poor clearance. Ball up to Dom Telford. Tries to get to it, but Kane Dom trying to close down the angles as well on the far side. Ball pumped forward. Kent Richardson nods it down. Ferguson tries to turn, dispossessed. And now Hussein can bring the ball forward, plays it through. It's good tackle, but he's going to keep the ball there as Connor Panny goes into the ambulance there with an oxygen mask on there. I'm guessing that's gas and air for pain. And Gateshead with poor passing in the middle again. And they're playing into Southend's hands here at the moment. And even wayward passes are staying with Southend as the offside flag goes up on the far side. And there's been a real lack of communication and confidence, Mark, in the second half.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a Gateshead side that haven't played together a lot in competitive games. Again, I will state it is a completely different environment to friendlies. Look, let's be honest, the second and third goals have been given to them. Being given to Southend, who've been absolutely ruthless, as I say. But Gateshead need to start laying punches here.
A ball over the top, looking for Kane Adam, and keeper was in no man's land again there.
And then again, that sort of ball there, I don't think it's a difficult pass.
No.
To play a Adam in. It's gone. I know there's wind out there and stuff. It is very windy. But it's a pretty simple pass in behind, and it's just been overhit.
There's good movement from Max Sheaf there after he laid the ball off. He sprinted to get forward to give an option, but just not moving fast enough for Gateshead the ball, I don't think. As Hurst gets in, Fenton John gets tangled with the referee. Drop ball. Josh Home.
Doesn't look great for Panny, by the way, does it? It
doesn't look very good at all, as he had an oxygen mask on there. I'm guessing gas in air. Ball over the top, looking for Hurst, and the ball just taken away from him in the air. We've spoken about Gateshead a lot, but you've got to admire the work rate and the drive of Southend here today.
They've been excellent. They've been everything I thought they would be. Like the control that they've got in the game. That's
great tackle that just didn't manage to get to a teammate. At the moment, Southend playing with a little bit of freedom, a little bit of late tackle there on the goal scorer Charlie Kendall. Free kick to the visitors. Carlisle United a goal to the good against Woking. And York are winning 2-1 at home to Sutton. I believe Forest Green are 2-1 up as well after being a goal down at half-time. And Rochdale are beating Borehamwood 2-0.
That was out.
Well, Gateshead bring the ball forward. Didn't give Dom Telford much of a chance there.
Nothing you can do with that, is there?
We await the throw on the far side. In no hurry, the visitors. And why should they be at the moment? Cruising to a 3-0 win as it stands. Gateshead try and win the ball on the far side, and they do.
It's better.
As Max Sheaf and Kane Adam comes away with the ball, gets past one man, but he's got a few more to beat and just
keep the pressure
dispossessed. As Max Sheaf chases the ball down with Hussein to number 8, battling at it. As Hussein stands firm, holding the ball up well. Max Sheaf comes away with it though. Can he thread it to somebody?
It's foul. That's brilliant.
Free kick given.
That's exactly what Gateshead need to do more of. It's that that pressure high up the pitch, and Adam and Sheaf, to the credit, have shown it there and forced a foul in the final third. Gateshead a chance to put a decent ball in now.
Well, can they make the goalkeeper work here?
Still just under half an hour left. It's fanciful, I think, to suggest that Gateshead can get back into it.
Well, it's going to take a mammoth effort and a sustained effort as well.
Yeah, very much so.
64 minutes gone. Gateshead 0, Southend 3, but Gateshead free kick on the far side. Ferguson stands over the ball.
Far post, by the way.
Moving in comes the delivery, and it's headed clear. Back out to Ferguson. Can he get the time to put it back in? He can. It's a dangerous one towards the back. And there's a shirt pull on Joe Grayson there. It was practically off his back. Well,
this is dangerous.
one thing that
Well, definitely wouldn't have been a penalty, but a lot of shirt pulling. John getting back to cover that one.
It's one of them where the referee and linesman probably only consider it if the player goes down.
Yeah. Not a jibe at the referee. I think he's had a decent game, to be honest. Boys poised to take the throw in. Short one. As Austin goes down under the challenge. The ball comes off Max Sheaf. Who has left the curly locks of last season's haircut for curtains this year. Just for our audio listeners, I don't know as well, the zone viewers, the ambulance is still on the running track. Connor Panny receiving treatment inside the ambulance as Josh Walker under pressure from Kent Richardson. Mason Galway back and Dom Telford tried to pinch it, but Hurst driving back towards the goalkeeper. He's outside his area. Nice footwork. And just clears that ball forthwith up the pitch. Kent back on defensive duties and pokes it out on the far side for a throw. Now, Scott Morris is going to take this throw on the far side. So found the opportunity to get the ball in the box. Back to Scott Morris. Scott Morris looks up. Not a bad one in. Charlie Kendall turn on the volley. Cleared by Kent Richardson. As the ball now cleared properly by Home. And Dom Telford can get onto that one. He goes for a first-time shot.
It's a shot. It's ambitious. You can see what he's trying. Just need to get under it.
I think
but
more frustration in that one than anything else.
And you're probably looking at one of the goals of the season if that goes anywhere near going in.
Max Sheaf trying to chase shadows there at the moment. It's one thing I've got to say about Southend. They've moved the ball really well.
There's an
Max
argument.
Sheaf fouls number 8 for Southend. Hooson. Oh, we wait this free kick to be taken. Big Frank Nublet is warming up. Right up to the edge of the box. That kick was taken. Kent Richardson wins the header. Kane on flicks it on. Well read by the Southend defence. So just gets in front of Dom Telford. But Gateshead do get the ball over the top, and it's going to go all the way through to the keeper, who clears it off the line.
Tell you what, Gateshead need to try this more, because he is a good keeper, Colin Andang, but coming out of his area, that's twice now when he's looked really, really uncertain.
Yeah. Flint gets the ball to Max Sheaf, and the ball wasn't the greatest, but it goes back out for a Gateshead throw.
Just down the road here, Dunstan UTS have just gone 1-0 up in their game. It's North Ferriby. That was a foul throw, by the way.
Yeah, foul throw, and it is a throw.
Interesting, the referee gave it, not the linesman. He
Yeah.
was literally right beside him.
We are going to see a double change for the visitors. There's going to be their new signing, Andrew Dallas, coming on with Tom Hopper. Braintree 3-0 to the good over FC Halifax. Well, one of the goal scorers has left the pitch in Charlie Kendall. And the other goal scorer, Josh Walker, leaves the pitch as well. So Dallas and Hopper on, like for like.
For the substitution, Southend
Quickly Taine throw in. Gateshead do manage to get the ball under control. Oh, as I say that, Ferguson missed it. Scott Morris goes for an audacious one. And at the moment, Gateshead have 20 more minutes to try and carve something out in this game. And Frank Noble renewing his friendship with the Southend fans. Hopper nodded the ball up in the air, but it wasn't picked up by Flint. Just manages to intercept there, but throw into the visitors, boys. As Gateshead do win the ball back. Hurst plays it inside to Max Sheaf. Max Sheaf to Dom Telford. It's better, but he needs an outlet himself, and he plays it across to Ferguson on the left-hand side. Brings the ball forward to Kane Adom. Adom back to Ferguson. Adom looks to try and open up on that left-hand side. Has to cut back on himself, but Apaya forced an intercept, but his pass wasn't the greatest. And
That's good.
Gateshead now through Fenton John bring the ball forward. Across to Flint. Flint plays it back to Kent Richardson just on the halfway line. He plays it across to Grayson. As Kent Richardson gives the ball back to Brooks. Flint under pressure, plays the ball back to Brooks. Brooks, the ball's going to bounce through. Oh, just deceiving bounce there for Dom Telford. But he's had a hell of a battle on his hands with Harry Taylor this afternoon.
Yeah, he really has, hasn't he? Just hasn't quite happened for Telford. There's a need for, I think, just a bit more physicality in that top end. I think he is a goal scorer, but he hasn't had the service, has he? Let's be honest.
No, he's had to try and contend with a lot of aerial battles, which physically he just isn't going to be able to win to the height. Scott Morris goes for a shot from outside the box. Hook clear from Gates up the halfway line, brought down by Harry Taylor. Pia Forson turns, plays it inside Scott Morris. Southend just slowing the game down. Ralph plays it across his defence. As the ambulance has started to leave with Connor Panny. Throw in taken. Ferguson to Sheaf. Sheaf turns, holds the ball up well, plays the ball back to Kenton Richardson. His ball out to Hurst. Beaten in the air, but it's a front gator between the dugouts. On the break, trying to chase the ball down now. Southend, but it goes back to Brooks. Ferguson gets the ball forward to Sheaf. If Sheaf can send Kane Adam away, gets it to him. Adam cuts inside. He's still going. Adam, he's got Sheaf back out on the far side. And the referee lets the game play on. Harry Taylor's got himself forward. Puts it out to Hopper. No, Hopper's in the middle, sorry. And now they try and probe on the right-hand side. Back to the player Forson. Well, at the moment, Don Telford battling to win the ball back to no avail. Ball played forward, and now Dallas has the ball, plays it inside. It's going to fall on the edge of the box. There's a shot away past the post. And tell you what, that looked like it was destined for the back of the net, that one, Mark.
Yeah, just sneak past that post, didn't it?
Looks like Scott Morris is down at the moment.
Could be wrong, but I think he's asked for some possibly a bit of cramp.
Quite possibly. It is a warm day out there. Players have been taking the opportunity to take on water as they're doing the game. He did go for a shot from far out. I don't know if he's pulled something on the going for the big one. But at this moment in time, it is Southend 3, Gateshead 0 here at Gateshead International Stadium. I'll go through some latest scores while we have a break in play. It is 2-2. Aldershot pulled back 2 goals away to Altrincham. Bournemouth 0, Aldershot 2, Brackley 1, Eastleigh 0, Braintree 3, FC Halifax 0, Gateshead 0. It is Southend 3. Then it's 2-2. It's Solihull Moors game on there. Forest Green had come from behind. It's Solihull Moors.
Coming on.
Yeah, we've got Frank Newell stripped ready to come on. Tamworth 1, Scunthorpe 2, Wheelstone 1, Truro 0, Woking 0, Carlisle 1, Yeovil 0, Hartlepool 0, and York 2, Sutton United 1. So Josh Holmes coming off. Looks like we're going a bit more attacking here in Gateshead. Frank Noble. Gateshead's number 14 on the pitch. Well, looks like he's going to be the man just at the top of the formation. I want to aim for, but Hopper latches onto a loose ball, lays it off to a Pia Forson. Pia Forson has boys in here because there's space on this right-hand side if he sees him, but turns around and gives it back to Houston. As they bring the ball forward on the far side, Southend. Pia Forson, was he fouled? Referee says play on. Got an opportunity to get the ball in the box here at Southend. It's a good cross. Oh, tell you what, deceiving one there. Nearly a goal scoring chance there for Hopper.
That last substitution for Gateshead was number 17, Josh Holmes, leaving the pitch, being replaced by number 13, Frank Newell.
We've got a long throw coming on the far side. Scott Morris goes short-ish. Hopper. No, it's not. It's Austin, but he's dispossessed. Gateshead sitting very deep, though. They've got to get men forward if they want to try and break out from this and cane it on. Couldn't get past his man. Scott Morris plays it into Hopper. Pia Forson. Back out to Scott Morris. Scott Morris, right-hand side of the box. Looks to get the cross in, hits it off Gateshead defender and out for a corner on the far side. Well, we've got the best part of 12 minutes remaining, mark of normal time, and safe to say that Southend never really got out of second gear.
No, they haven't had to. I mentioned before the start of the second half, Gateshead need to come out and be quick and be intense and be in the faces, and obviously they've given 2 goals away in quick succession through errors.
Cross comes in there. Scott Morris, tipped over the bar. Deceiving bounce there, but Scott Morris got it on target. Tiernan Brooks. Another corner from the far side. In it comes. It's right into the mixer again, but headed away at the near post. Hurst tries to get past his man, but wins a throw-in. Have we got another sub coming here from the visitors? We have two. There's going to be Jack Bridge is coming on, as is James Morton. Well, Austin is making way. And so is Harry Boyes.
Carlisle just gone 2-0 up at Woking.
There's this moment in time, Gates trying to win the ball back. Newblade does. Telford being swamped there, but it does stay with Gateshead in possession. Ball over the top, looking for Newblade. Oh, Newblade, well, that wasn't a pull on the shirt. Well, the throw-in's been taken. Max Sheaf quickly closed down, but he's holding the ball up well.
Was he pulled down? Just got to play it.
Ball played forward, and now it's Dallas bearing down on goal. He's left-hand side of the box. He needs support in the middle. Tries to pick it out, cuts inside, goes for the shot himself. Teammates a little bit aggrieved that he was a bit selfish there.
He was. He had two teammates in the middle, absolutely busting the gut to get together, give him something to play to, and opted to go for a shot himself. I don't think it was ever really on.
Well, the ambulance still hasn't left the running track. It's just to the left of the stand. Looks like it's going to be moving now. But now it is going to make way out of the stadium.
It's a worry that it hasn't left already.
Yeah. We'll have been doing ovations in the ambulance. We've still got 8.5 minutes left here. Southend 3-0 to the good. As Dallas holds it up well. Kenton Richardson blocks the play and it's back with the defensive players. Good life. Gives it across to Ralph. Now forward down this lane. He's got acres of space. Hussein puts a cross in. It's deep. It's too deep, and it's going to go right across to Scott Morris, who puts it right back where it came from, bouncing in the area. It's Hurst. Nice turn from Hurst, but he's going to run into trouble, but he still keep going. And it's been the story of Gates this afternoon, hasn't it? Just too many yellow shirts. Great shape, great composure, and the work rate from Southend has limited Gateshead to very little.
It's really poor. Chance to break there, you know. And
Scott Morris puts one in there, and Flint headed the ball up in the area. It has been cleared, but Kane Adam chasing up against Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor, calm as you like, just uses his body. Scott Morris plays the ball forward. A little bit more stretched from Southend, but Gateshead not capitalising on any of the space that's being left.
Got to remember the game's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, you know, there's Southend can ease off if they need to, which they have. You know, they'll turn their attention to next week's game. The job's done here. They've been ruthless, and that's the big story for Gateshead to take from today. You know, when they have made mistakes, they've been punished, and some of the younger members of the squad have got to learn if you make mistakes at this level, then you are going to be punished.
And Max Sheaf plays the ball over the halfway lane. Newblade wrestling, doing very well to keep the ball. Now trying to send Hurst away, and he gets the free kick for it.
Yeah, he did well there, Big Frank. Was definitely being fouled. To be fair, I thought you had a good pre-season. I thought the games I saw him play looked kind of a different player to what we witnessed last season here.
I know obviously we mentioned before that the game's got away from Gateshead at the moment, but he adds a different dynamic, and you've seen how he can hold the ball up there, and it makes you wonder if that'll be something that they capitalise on moving forward.
Yeah, it's another option for Alan Armstrong, isn't it? It's something a bit different to a Telford or if any other striker comes in, probably isn't going to be a similar motor front Newell. So, yeah, it's an option.
Well, Gateshead just passing it around the back at the moment. Ball goes all the way back from Fenton John to Tiernan Brooks. A lot of shirt pulling again from the Southend United defenders.
Feel for him there because he's got 3 men on him and no one near him from a Gateshead point of view.
And Flint plays it back to Richardson. Richardson finds Fenton John.
Fenton John's been quite effective since he's come on, just moving the ball around the midfield and giving a little bit of energy in there for my Middlesbrough youngster.
Grayson plays it back to
Southend, just sitting in here on the...
Yeah. As I say, it's been a complete performance from them, and really, I think it's plain to see that they didn't get it second gear. They've done a job, they've done it well, and so the manager will be happy with the work rate, the shape, and the possession. Yeah,
they've been excellent right across the board. I think there's players had a poor game for them. Great touch.
Gets forward, right hand side. Gives it to Hurst. Hurst has Max Sheaf there, but he drives forward with the ball. Plays inside to Newbley. Can he get the ball from underneath his feet? He's got his back to go, back to Sheaf. Sheaf tries to cross it in. Newbley does poke the ball away. Kent Richardson is there to mop up and give it back to Tiernan Brooks. Ball over the top, looking for Newbley. It's going to fall to him. Can he get the ball and finish it away? Well,
I assume that's for a handball. Because the flag hasn't gone up, so I assume it's for a handball.
Don't know, it might have been for a push as well.
Another sub?
Yeah. Well, the final sub. Of course, there's 5 substitutions in the National League now. It is going to be Leon Chambers-Pallerin. It is going to be Noir Hussein coming off. Real workhorse in the midfield for Southend.
Substitution for Southend United. Room the pitch number 8, Noor Hussein, being replaced by number 19, Leon Chambers-Pallerin. Once again, the 50-50 number, 2574.
Through it, Gateshead.
Room 7.
Flint. Puts it across to Joe Grayson. Ferguson back to Grayson. John under pressure. Kent Richardson gives it back to John across to Flint. 2.5 minutes of normal time remain here. There's a ball back, a poor ball back from Flint. Hopper comes in, plays it across. It's played behind. Can he lay it off? Flicked it on. Here comes a shot from Perillion, but great tackle. But it's still not over yet. And Gateshead, can it clear the lines? And here comes the number 7 for. Oh, wow. They've done everything but get a shot away, Southend. It was Jack Bridge that couldn't get the ball from underneath his feet. But Southend still on the attack. Apaya Forson puts it in. Here comes the ball. Oh, and I think, by the looks of it, I think Dallas tried to chest that ball in. Look, very dangerous, Southend. They're starting the season in style here today. Gateshead flattering to deceive with a young side. One thing you can say, lessons will be learned today. Frank Newbley trying to hold off 2 men, brought down by Hurst. Sheaf gets it to Flint, and Flint does it again. He's been dispossessed, and he's chasing the ball down as Chambers-Pallerin lays it off to Bridge. Bridge cuts inside now. Dead ball line, pulls it back. Scott Morris was there and it's been cleared. And at the moment, Southend just toying with Gateshead. Ball across to Pia Forson. Southend looking for the fourth. Played through. Pia Forson to Scott Morris. Scott Morris managed to get out to a teammate. It comes into the centre. Gateshead who could clear. And that's Fenton John puts it out to the far side. As the Southend manager applauds the work rate of his team right to the final minute. It's a throw in on the far side to Southend United. Well, Scott Morris puts one in. Ferguson clears it. Only as far. Well, Newblade gets back to help out and does very well and sends Hurst away. It's a great ball. And Hurst is onto it. He's got Ralph with him. Ralph up against Hurst. Hurst up against Ralph. And he's didn't really pick out a teammate there. And now Southend on the attack. There's going to be 4 minutes added on here at the end of this game. And Mark, from a Gateshead perspective, lessons have to be learned.
Oh, massively, and have to be learned quickly. And I think that's the message that will be told to the players by Alan Armstrong and his coaching staff. They can't afford to make errors like they made today. They can't afford to have off spells in games like they have today. And I think that's possibly what's happened. They've paid for a little bit of a lack of experience in midfield. I will keep going back to that. I think there's possibly an argument to suggest maybe 3 at the back might be the way to go if further defensive recruitments were to come in, just to give a bit more of a solid, a solid base to the side.
Matt Sheaf's going to get a yellow card here for dissent. He threw the ball away. Frustrations boiling over.
There's no point getting too. It's probably easy for people to do this, but I think there's no point getting too disheartened straight away in this side.
No.
The calls are. Alan said it many times. They need the fans to stick with this side. And
I think everyone, if you're a realist, you would know that this team that we're playing today is going to be up there challenging. They've got quality from front to back and on the bench. Gateshead, it's a rebuilding season, so to speak, or it's fresh eyes, a new manager. He'll be looking at it. He'll be just as frustrated, probably more frustrated at the things that's happened.
The manner of the goals will frustrate him more than anything, because
in comes the free kick, cleared by Sheaf. Newblade holding the ball up well. No outlet for him though. And he's had to go all the way back to Grayson, and. Since he's come on, he's won nearly every ball he's went up to and held it up. He just hasn't had an outlet. And Newblade again there, showing what it's about. Getting back, he's trying to.
He's done well since he's come on, Big Frank.
I know the Southend fans that'll be listening and watching will be, they're not that impressed. But for us, it's something that's been missing throughout the game.
Sorry, I was just watching what was playing out there. No, you're right. Absolutely bang on. He's given something that's, as I say, a little bit different. And he's given an outlet at the top end of the pitch that Gateshead haven't had.
Sheaf out to Ferguson. There's Dom Telford, just holds the ball up, gives it to Max Sheaf, drives forward with the ball, goes to a shot himself, didn't get the connection he wanted, and
kind of sums it up.
Yeah, that's that. We've got a minute left now of the time added on, a minimum. Well, I'll take this moment to say obviously get well soon to Connor Panny. Didn't look great. Well, it's a throw in on the far side to Gateshead. Southend fans enjoying their win, getting the waves from the management team. As Brooks clears the ball up towards Ralph, who heads it forward. Hurst brings the ball down. Flint tries to pick a pass through the middle, and the decision making hasn't been the best. And the 3-0 is the scoreline to Southend United. They come away deservedly 3-0 winners here at Gateshead International Stadium today. Gateshead huffed and puffed, didn't make the greatest decisions, but lessons will be learned from Alan Armstrong's men. Well done to Southend United. I'm sure they will be up there for a majority of the season, if not all the season. They've shown they are going to be a real force in the National League this season. And Mark, it's lessons is the key, isn't it? Here, got to be learned.
It is absolutely, and as I say, need to be learned quickly. It's disappointing all around. Gateshead haven't really laid a glove on Southend. As I say, the mistakes for the second and third goals, and even you could argue that the first one as well, sort of came from a bit of lackluster play from Gateshead. So they have to learn those lessons. They have to improve, and they have to improve quickly.
They certainly do. Thank you for your company this afternoon, whether it be on our audio stream on YouTube or on DAZN. Remember, the game on Wednesday night will be available on both. So please do join us as Gateshead take on Newcastle United under-21s in the National League Cup. So hopefully Gateshead can build on what they've learned here today and come away with 3 points in the National League Cup. We'll be back for the next home game, but remember, you can watch all of the games live on DAZN. £99 for the season. There is a special offer on. Go to the website for all the T's and C's, and you will not miss a kick of National League action. Enterprise National League action, that is. So a big thank you, and myself and Mark, we'll see you next time.